So when you put out the offer, you get to see how people respond to it. So your customer avatar, as Jeff Bezos says, you leave this empty chair in the room to help you make decisions because you're talking directly to them. HubSpot openly debated and documented two core buyer personas. Owner Ollie, he's a small business owner under 10 employees with no full-time marketing staff, which is a lot of small businesses. And Marketing Mary is a marketing manager at a mid-sized company. And they chose to focus entirely on Mary to streamline their messaging, scaling into an enterprise they are today. Are you spending a lot of time and money on marketing and you're still not getting the customers and the clients that you want? Hey, let's talk about that. Let's talk about you building the correct and the ideal customer avatar that is going to be the right for your business, because we know without customers, you have no business. So welcome back to another edition of Let's Talk Marketing with NDUB podcast, where I'm your host, Nathan Webster, and I'm excited to chop it up with you today. Today for episode 311, I'm going to talk to you about three things. Number one is the goal for you to stop trying and hoping and praying that you're going to have the right people come to you. Number two, I want you to speak directly to them. And then number three, here's where, without a doubt, we are going to provide an offer that they can't say no to. So let's get started. And I'm going to start with my own, my own mistakes. I've spent a lot of money on swag and merch and products, hoping that it was going to work, and it wasn't. Look, I had to learn the hard way. My ideal customer was someone that had already invested in marketing and it's not working. They put time and money into either templates or to systems or to talking heads, influencers, and it's just too much for them to handle. As a fractional CMO, here's where I step in and I help them make those decisions, because they basically say what Crystal says, Nathan, just tell me what to do. That's my job. And what I've done for many, many, many years, but you see I haven't talked about it. I'm going to talk about it now. And if you go back to a couple of episodes, remember when I said the real reason Amazon spends $14 billion on advertising is because so they can get to the right person, right? And then episode later, I talked about a CRM where at $8.71 return on $1 spent. That's understanding when you're putting out that content, right? You're directly speaking to your ideal client avatar. And then I talk about in the following podcast about your budget doesn't matter as much as you think it does, because you can start at zero. And again, if you haven't listened to that podcast, do that. And then when you have your content, you have your digital landscape. Here's where me and Scott mostly from Sidecar, talked about SEO versus GEO. He talked about having it's about keywords, it's about the context while you're putting it out there. And then how to get real technical and structure about with the schema and the XML. And then last but not least, customer reviews. That's what I'm going to start with. So let me put this down because I want to share something with you that I realize I haven't really shared that much about. Strategizer has put out what's called a business model canvas. Now, we haven't talked a lot about this, but I mentioned it a couple of times, but what I want to share with you is Strategizer has put out what's called a business model canvas. It doesn't read left to right what you think it does. It starts here with customer segments and number two with value proposition. And this is where customers, clients, business owners, founders start with, I just want to talk about my value proposition. I want to talk about the solution and the benefits and the cool trinkets and the lights, all the cool stuff, right? But that's not what your customer understands. They just want to know, how can you help them solve their problem? And this is where sales comes in, but we're not going to get to there just yet, because that's what the offer that they can't refuse. So how do we go about focusing on the customer segment? Okay. This comes back to understanding that your customer avatar is the rule Jeff Bezos rule he uses, leaving an empty chair. Now, I don't know all the details because I haven't read any of his books that talk directly about this, but I've seen it and many times of how he said in the meeting room he will leave an empty chair for his customer. If you are not watching on YouTube, this is where I'm pointing at. And for those that are watching on YouTube, I would love to hear your comments because, like I've just told you and shared with you, I've made the mistake of not focusing on my customer and focusing on the product, the service, the solution, not addressing their biggest concerns of how this is going to help them because I was so focused on this is going to be fun when most of the time people are in this situation, they're not thinking this is fun. They just need help. They were like, hey, I need to get this fixed so I can do this. Look, I got you, bruh. I got you, sis. So when Jeff Bezos, when I said like, how are they making, why do they spend $14 billion in advertising? Because they know exactly who they want to target. Do you know who you exactly want to target? If not, let's talk about it. This is why you build a customer avatar. And they do it in a version like this. Thanks to Gemini, I went to AI with this and I said, Gemini, tell me, how do big companies target me? And they were like, hey fam, I got you, bro. So I got two companies, HubSpot and MailChimp. They're service providers for someone like me that uses a tool to help me send out my funneling messages to hit the top, the middle, and the bottom of the funnel. The top of the funnel is to get people's attention, bring awareness to my brand, interest them, help them to where I provide an offer, and then I convert them into a client. So number two, what I've said, I'm speaking directly to them all the time. HubSpot as a SaaS, a software as a service, they provide a platform for me to do it. They have created, and they made this very public, very early on. They have two customer avatars, Marketing Mary and Owner Ollie. They say that in the foundational growth years, HubSpot openly debated and documented two core buyer personas. Owner Ollie, he's a small business owner under 10 employees with no full-time marketing staff, which is a lot of small businesses. And Marketing Mary is a marketing manager at a mid-sized company. And they chose to focus entirely on Mary to streamline their messaging, scaling into an enterprise they are today, right? Because you have small businesses that they're happy to be a small business and they not want to grow it to where they're going to create, say, a franchise or go global. But then you got a mid-sized manager that say, hey, look, I got this company I'm working for and we need to scale. We got to grow this because we're trying to do big things. Well, HubSpot said, I got you, I see you. And they started talking directly to them. So this is where I have learned to not just, I've tried using their services and you know, frankly for me, they're just too expensive. I use another CRM. But from there, I have found that when they have done that successfully, you get people that love them. Right? That's how you build a customer persona. You talk directly to them and then you provide an offer. They started me with doing a mailer for newsletters, which leads me to MailChimp. MailChimp started with Toby and Elizabeth. The breakdown with Toby is he's a busy work from home novelist trying to balance time with a new puppy. And Elizabeth is a corporate social media manager just drowning and manual scheduling. And all MailChimp does is help you continue to tell that message for that offer you need to create so that people will buy from you. That offer is speaking directly to the people in their pain. Now, this is a little bit of sales. I will say that. This is a little bit of sales, but when you say, for me, if I'm talking to you, if you are not getting the right response when you put out content, then I'm going to ask you, how are you creating this content? Like, what are you doing when you're creating this content? And most people are just trying to check the box, and I'm like, Let's back up. Let's talk directly to the customer. Let's talk directly, and I did this in food and restaurants. I'm like, you want to talk to people when they're coming off of work or they're at lunch and they're hungry. What are the things that you're going to say? What's something that can I afford? And what's something that's quick? What's something that's easy? What's something that is I can hold with my hands and I don't need a fork or a spoon or a knife? What is something it could be a grab and go, right? What is a BOGO, a buy one, get one? What's something that is a bargain deal? What is what Walmart uses what's called an everyday low price, an EDLP. These are all things that you're speaking to directly to the customer. You're not talking about, we use the freshest of food and I picked up today and I did it with love and care. They don't care about your process. They just care about the with them. What's in it for me? When you speak directly to them and you put out an offer that makes sense, it's like, how can I deny it? Oh, and it may not be today, but it might be tomorrow, might be next week. So when you put out the offer, you get to see how people respond to it. So your customer avatar, as Jeff Bezos says, you leave this empty chair in the room to help you make decisions because you're talking directly to them. And let's just say that organic content is not getting to them. Well, okay, that makes sense because we know it's hard to reach our customers. You might have to do some form of advertisement because maybe the organic content on one social media platform they're not on. You need to go to another platform. You may need to go to another method. And this is where the funnel works. This is why having the understanding of, and for those that are not watching on YouTube, I'm bringing out this customer avatar where you're figuring out the demographics of this individual. But it's not just the demographics, it's also the psychographics. So when you're developing this client avatar, and please don't overcomplicate it. Don't think, Nathan, that is way too complicated. No, it's not. How do you go about it? Well, if you're selling something and you get someone to buy, or if they don't buy, you ask them, why do you not want this? Get that feedback. And when you get that feedback, I promise you, you'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I got to do a better job of selling, or I got to do a better job of packaging, or I got to make sure I do a better job with promoting before the event. I got to make sure that people understand what they're buying. You start understanding what it is that you need to speak them to directly because number one, you're not going to attract clients by or through osmosis. Number two, you got to speak to them directly. And number three, you got to make sure the offer is something they can't say no to. So if you have one of the experiences, I would love for you to share, because one of the things that I failed on is I had a client say, Nathan, I don't know what you did. I would love to work with you. And this Crystal, I had her on here several times. She was like, I would love to hire you earlier, but I just didn't know what you did. Do you have clients like that? Or you might have some potential clients like that. And if you do, share. What have you done? Me getting some swag, thinking that's going to get the big high ticket clients into my door. No, it's not. It's not the merch. It's not the swag. It's you creating that empty chair effect, creating the right ideal customer avatar that's going to work for your business, and you produce an offer that they can't resist. And this is where you talk to them directly, because at the end of the day, we're all individuals looking for solutions for our problems. If you are looking for someone to help you with your marketing, make sure you reach out to me. Make sure you click on the link down below when it comes to connect with me. I'm here to help you in the way that I can take your marketing to the next level. Until next time, I wish you nothing but the best. Dream big and Godspeed. I'm out.